Hey y'all! So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it took to build my new veggie garden bed. I'm so excited to have this done. I think you can kind of see right behind me, we've got some little green patches of grass coming through. You can also see my irrigation that I've been struggling with for the past, I think, like 2 weeks. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know all about my irrigation struggles. But a little bit about the space. It started off, we thought it was going to be our dog run space. We were really excited about it. That obviously changed last fall when we realized my garden was underneath some pretty big trees, and not only was it getting shaded out, but the squirrels were very attracted to it, looking down from those trees at all of the veggies. So this is my new veggie garden space. I'm so proud of the work that we put into it, and I'm saying we because Daniel was a strong second hand, and by second, I mean first. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just so excited, so let's just get into it. So we're starting in again on our dog run project, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for taking out these junipers, this hedge here, but they're dead. I have not cut into this at all, and like, it's only the top that has green. So it's about a 2-foot slope, and so we're trying to adjust that right now because the soil is just going to keep falling. It's going to make everything really uneven and level. We've been digging out stones about a foot deep in the grass right now that's rooted here, because apparently this was once a pathway and now it's all underneath weeds. So if we can get some type of stair here. Do y'all see how bad this soil is? So the next step in the whole, and bird poo, veggie garden situation is to level out this ground, which we did, but the soil is so crappy. This is day like 10 maybe, I don't know. Daniel's helping me tamp down the soil. We're trying to level out the space, clean off all of the dirt mess that we made, and hopefully move on to the next step. Yay! I'm so excited to have a couple of plants in, and I'm pretty happy so far. Hey y'all! So I've shown you a couple of sneak peeks, especially on Instagram, and now I'm ready to share my new veggie garden space with you, starting with these stairs. Now, I don't know if you remember, I can probably put a little bit of B-roll on the screen, but this used to be a treacherous hill that only Daniel could climb. I used to have to go all the way around just to get up here, and now they're not perfect. I do not in any way, shape, or form declare myself a master of masonry. But I think I tackled it pretty well. So what we did was use cinder blocks that were found all around this property, because if you've been following me here for a while, you will have heard me say that this was kind of a dumpster yard when we first got it. There's a lot of trash, a lot of kind of useless things that we are finding use for now. So we found all of these cinder blocks, used them along with the pavers. We still have some work to do, just straightening out our pathway, cleaning everything off, but so far we are making moves, and I just couldn't wait any longer to show you the new veggie garden beds and the new veggie garden space. So come on, let me show you. All right, so here it is. It's taken us quite a bit of time to get this done. We were building beds, leveling the land, building trellises, as well as trying to make sure that we have a good substance, or soil compost mixture down below so grass could grow. So our next step is to continue this compost coming down, and then we'll lay our grass seed. So let me show you some details about these beds. As you can imagine, the soil has been kicked up and flown around the entire time that we've been working, so they're a little dusty right now, but it's nothing a little rainstorm cannot fix, and we've already got a few things planted. So come and let me show you this first bed here. Now, along with building these beds, I also opted to build these trellises. Now, the first almost little mistake I'll say that I did was I wish I had made them just a bit taller. I didn't account for the fact that I would be attaching them to the bed. So originally I made them 6 feet, but there is about a foot in the actual bed where it attaches, so it comes out to about 5 feet. I feel I can always add on later, or just switch it out for something taller, but I do really love the way that it looks. We added this wire fencing with these fencing staples to just hold it in, and of course there is a brace here just so the sides don't really bow in. And down here we have some sugar and peas already planted and some seedlings that we're hardening off. So these beds are 3 by 6, and I did that purposefully because I wanted there to be a nice sized walkway here in the middle where I can still get my gorilla cart through. So I believe I have a 4-foot opening here. This opening right in the middle when you come up the steps is 6 feet, and that is so I can have a little bit more space to put something nice like a fountain or a statue right in the back there, just to kind of pull the space together. I feel it needs something just a little bit more weight, with a little bit more weight to it. We already have a few things planted in all of the beds. There's some onions growing here, some Walla Walla onions. I have a red cabbage at the corner of each bed just for a little bit of symmetry here. I wanted the space to be balanced, and I know it won't completely be that way just because the way our property is lined up, the fence does come in a little bit as it goes down, so we're losing a little bit of space, each foot. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I hope you understand what I mean. As the fence comes down, it angles in a bit. So because of that angling, we start here with about 6 feet of space, and then we start coming in further and further to 5 feet until we get to 4. So all of the beds, like I said, are 6 by 3, except for these big beds that we brought from Brooklyn that Daniel built me. These are 4 by 4, and we are going to stain them black to match everything else. Just haven't gotten to that yet because, as I said, this process has been a lot lengthier than I would have hoped it to be, but it's getting done and I couldn't be happier about it. So between building new staircases, which took me about a day, putting the beds together, that includes buying the wood, cutting the wood, and screwing them all in together and staining them, that was about 2 days of work, and the trellises were about a half a day's work because I was only making 2 of them. So these 2 beds in the back have trellises on them both, because this is where I'll grow not heavy vining things like I know
I put a lot of pumpkins and melons and squash of all sorts on the trellises in the past. These I don't believe are going to be strong enough or large enough for that, but they'll be perfect for peas and beans, cucumbers even. And so these two have them. I'm debating on whether I want to put a trellis on that 4x4 over there, and then these two beds in the front. I mean, these three beds here in the front will just be um, full of other things. So if I could change anything about what I did, it would probably be the order in which I did it, meaning that I cut all of the boards and then brought them back here and put them together. But I didn't actually put them together where the beds were going to sit, so I had to end up rolling the beds to where they were going to ultimately be. But even before then, I feel I should have leveled the ground before adding the beds, because as you can see, the beds got very dusty and dirty, and it made it a little bit harder to just get that job done. So I would really think about the order in which you do things, and I would make these trellises a bit taller just so they can support some other things. And I think everything else I'm just really, really happy with. Altogether, the job wasn't very hard. It was just quite lengthy. The hardest part was moving the soil, which kudos to Daniel, because I didn't do it. He did it because I couldn't. And I would say, money-wise, it is an expense in the beginning. I would say under $300 if you're going to do a lot of beds like this. I believe between the buying the boards and the stain and the nails and things that it takes to make this, you're going to run around $200 to $300. But in the end, you know, you could be crafty. You could get wood from other people giving it away. You could get wood from old fencing, things like that. You don't have to buy it. And you could find ways to cut cost there. But in the end, these are going to really provide a lot of happiness to me, just growing a lot of produce, a lot of flowers for years to come, and that's completely worth it to me. If you've been following me for a while now, you'll know last year I tried some in-ground beds because we just didn't have the means to do this when we first moved in here, and I was miserable. It was awful. So I'm just so happy to have this year and to share it with you, and I'll definitely keep you updated on how this is going. If you have any questions about the build or the laying of the land, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.